So now we're going to talk about how production is related to cost. As a reminder, we have two different distinct types of cost in the short run: fixed cost and variable cost. But first, a little aside about Thomas Malthus, who incidentally gave us the term dismal science for a cute, fun little nickname for economics. Why so dismal? Because he predicted that population growth would outstrip food supply growth, and he was wrong, at least till now. So what did he fail to get right about production and cost? Well, food production got a lot cheaper, and new technology made it faster and better. And some birth control technology for humans made population growth a little bit slower. So for now, anyway, it's not as dismal as Malthus would have had us believe. So a quick application. Here's a cookie factory. Can you spot what you think are the variable and the fixed cost? Your labor and your raw goods, those are variable cost. Your machines, insurance, those are going to be your fixed costs. So total cost is made up of both fixed and variable cost. And there's something that needs to be noted as we're starting to look for patterns of cost. The total cost curve becomes steeper as we produce more output, which is a result of diminishing marginal product or diminishing returns. Let's talk about that. So take a minute to familiarize yourself with this data. Basically, we have inputs, we have outputs, and we've graphed it. And the cost of inputs is pretty constant. The fixed costs obviously are 400, no matter if we're producing 0 or 96 wheat bushels, but the variable costs are changing. The variable cost doesn't increase as you add another worker. We go from 0 to 1, 1 to 2. It's always an extra $200. So how is it then that as we produce more, the additional cost, or the slope of this total cost curve, ends up being higher? Can you spot it? Hint, think about the productivity of a variable input in the short run as you add more and more of it. Does it stay constant? Does it fall after a point? If it falls after a point, which is true for most firms, what's going to happen is the more workers you hire, the more you're going to get. But at some point, the additional output from an additional worker is going to start dropping. So you can see it over in the quantity of wheat. It's not constant, right? The first worker adds 19, the second worker adds whatever 36 minus 19 is, 36 to 51. And you're getting, worker I, that last worker from H to I, only adds an extra 5 units of output. So she costs $200, but she only generates an extra 5 bushels. And so those bushels are going to be more expensive. The extra cost of those last bushels are higher than the first bushels. And so here it is, your equation for marginal cost. Marginal cost is the change in total cost from the change in a unit of output. And we do this because sometimes your changes don't come in nice 1 unit increments. You've got to say, oh, there's an increase of 20 in cost and there was an increase of 4 outputs. So that's a cost of an extra $5 for the next unit of output. So here's another proof or practice for you. If we've got salsa and a fixed cost and variable cost, probably your raw materials and your labor, add them together, you get total cost. Can you calculate marginal cost? Yes. It's the increase in total cost coming from a 1 unit increase in output. Luckily here we have only 1 unit increases, so it's pretty easy to see exactly what the marginal cost is going to be. And does it obey our rules? Yes. It is going to rise over time, which simply reflects the law of diminishing marginal product or diminishing returns to an input. And so again, remember the difference between total and marginal. They're both delineated in dollars, but they refer to different things. Total is the combined cost of everything. Marginal is just what does it cost to make one more, right? And that, my friends, is some stuff you need to know about cost and production. Enjoy the day. I'm going to give it a little color here. Maybe also some lips.